it wasn't just an education, it was an edification. I had to be groomed in a certain way, the way you speak, the way you walk, the way you carry yourself, the way you sit, the respect that you have. Make sure you lower your gaze. When visitors are here, you don't show your face when they come along. And now you'll find our children running a racket in front of those visitors. So these are the things that they ensured it was the best in me. My teachers picked that up when I was very, very young, and they made sure they used that to my advantage. They also always ensured that I strived to be the best, even if it's the second best. And, I think that was so amazing for as long as I could remember. But I also remember when I was in Standard 7, and this is so hilarious because we were talking about it the other day. I was first in my class, but I failed home economics. And it was just hilarious. And my teacher said to me, why would you go and do that? And, and we were taught fantastic things, and I'm fantastic with embroidery and crocheting and knitting and whatever, and baking too, as I mentioned to you, and cooking. So I think, there was this fantastic way of doing things. But then I hated the studying. Why do I have to study, the measurements of what I need to bake or cook or whatever? And I still do it now. I put my own things together. And it's amazing. I got a chef in the family as well. So I think that brought about for the first time in my life in Standard 7 that I had to actually study. And I realized even the simplest of subjects needed studying.
And you love it.
I love it. I up until today, it's called lifelong learning. Everything, I just soak it up and I just read it and absorb it. And
yeah, because earlier on when I spoke to you during the day as well, you were in your garden. You missed my call and you were in the garden. What were you doing? Were you picking up ingredients for what you're eventually going to cook, or were you? What is it? Because you're also a botanist, so.
Well, I have this way with plants, like I have with animals and children and people. My plants just thrive, and I have organic gardening, and I love it. So I have there's brinjal, there's strawberries, there's cassava, and we've got things like lavender and
you just have an array of stuff going on there as well.
I love it. And then I just went to put in, I had sweet chili peppers, I would include it today. And yes, I have what is called a guavadilla. So we went to just hook it around so that it doesn't spill over to the neighbor's yard. He'll be grabbing all my guavadillas, which I really don't like. And so I was busy with all of that. So when you called me, my fingers were full of sand and the nails were all full of sand. And I was just enjoying myself.
That was incredible because, you were saying that you enjoy all of these things to such a max. And I asked you as well in the hallway, what is it, how do you find time to balance all of this? And what was your response?
You need to plan it in your head.
That's the one.
and I had that when I was a kid, and I got that out of the Archie comics, which also taught me. Yes, and believe me, I sent a proposal to Wits University in 2016, where I said to them, comics is the way forward, and I still got the proposal, even though they didn't accept me to study it.
I wouldn't have expected anything less of you.
Because I think it's so important. I learned Shakespeare through comics. I was reading it when I was 6 or 7 years old. So we had a thing about comics, and Archie Comics taught me a winner never quits and a quitter never wins, which I still use up until today. I'm a creative. I'm a writer. So taking time off in the garden and just going for a walk and doing some crazy stuff or running around the yard with my grandchildren, I love it because it gives me that spurt, that spurt of energy to be creative.